Star Trek Strange New Worlds is continuing with its episodic adventures. So far we've had dedicated episodes focusing on Captain Pike and Uhura, and it seems like this week we'll be getting a focus on the character of number 1, aka Una Chin Riley. But what do we know about this new episode so far? Well, let us take a look at what we can expect from episode 3, Ghosts of Illyria. Spoiler warning, this preview video will of course contain spoilers for the upcoming episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. As such, you have been warned. Welcome to Trek Central, I'm your host Captain Jack. Don't forget that if you want to watch the trailers and preview clips of what we're talking about today, then you can click the link in the video description. Sadly, we can't show them on screen due to Paramount probably copywriting us. However, if you head over to trekcentral.net, you can check out the latest preview article. Alright, if you're back with me after watching those trailers, stand by. Before we do warp into this video, if you want to keep up to date on all the latest Star Trek news, lore, and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media for daily updates on the Star Trek universe, like the fresh Strange New Worlds pictures yesterday. As always, please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, because if you're talking about Star Trek, then we want to hear about it. Okay? Engage. Now first off, before we take a look at the new promo images or sneak peek trailers, let's just talk about the title, Ghosts of Illyria. Now off the bat we could say we'll be looking at actual ghosts. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen ghosts in Star Trek, and luckily Dr. Crusher is not in Strange New Worlds to have relations with one, if that's how we're putting it. But it seems like these ghosts are more like the ghosts of someone's past. Something has happened to them which is coming back to haunt them. Now this relates to Una in interesting ways. For those who don't know, Una's backstory in beta canon, aka legacy Star Trek content, is that she was born on the planet of Illyria. Now Illyrians have only been seen on screen once, and those are from the Illyrian spaceship that Archer stole warp crawls from in the 3rd season of Star Trek Enterprise. They were native to a region of space called the Delphic Expanse. This was being morphed by the Spear Builders, but luckily that is no longer happening thanks to Archer and the NX-01 Enterprise. Illyrians are a Metacracy that valued excellence both mentally and physically, and that's why we see number 1 in the cage. She is quite logical and methodological in how she does things. Now the interesting thing about Illyrian is that they're known to be a practiced selective breeding, that basically bordered on genetic engineering. This could be a part of the ghost behind Una, but even though she was born in a project of genetic engineering, or perhaps did the Illyrians commit genetic engineering on Una in secret and therefore she doesn't know. So with the title of Ghosts of Illyria, they definitely seem to be bringing back and canonizing Una from being from Illyria. That's what we can make of it so far anyway. The tagline of the episode is, Una must confront a secret she's been hiding when a contagion ravages the ship, incapacitating the rest of the crew. So we are definitely looking at a secret of Una, and having a classic ship get infected in an episode of Star Trek, hopefully this doesn't hit too close to home considering the current global climate and contagions, but it seems from the trailers this won't be the case. So as I just mentioned when we're talking about the main trailer, an episode all about contamination and some sort of virus, and it's a bit close to home given recent years. However, it does seem that Star Trek Strange New Worlds Episode 3 is going to explore this concept in the latest episode, but it does seem there's a catch. The crew are attracted to light sources. Perhaps that internet moth meme has gone a bit too far these days. Anyway, now while we're getting a focus on number 1, it does appear our medical officers are also going to get some of the spotlights. See what I did there? Dr. Mbenga, Babs Olascommon, was absent from episode 2. However, we're also going to be spending more time with him in Star Trek Strange New Worlds episode 3, I certainly hope so. Additionally, Nurse Chapel is also being featured in the teaser trailer, along with Hemmer as well. Speaking of Hemmer, it's finally Hemmer time in this week's episode. As we take a look at the exclusive Ready Room clip, Bruce Horak's Hemmer had an introduction in last week's episode 2 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. However, Hemmer didn't really do much or was seen a lot apart from his moment on the bridge and at dinner. So will episode 3 be our first proper taste of this unique new chief engineer of the USS Enterprise? I certainly hope so. This week's Ready Room preview clip gives us a good interaction between Hemmer and Transporter Chief Kyle, played by Andre Day Kim. Personally, I can't wait to see this scene in the episode to get more additional context on Hemmer's task. Additionally, when are we going to get the dedicated engineering episode? Every Star Trek series has one, so we can only wait to get Hemmer on one as well. So let's take a look at the promo pictures of this week's episode. Remember, if you want to see them in full 4K, head over to trekcentral.net. The main focus on these pictures is seeing an away team of the USS Enterprise, consisting of Pike, Una, and numerous other Enterprise officers, in some sort of industrial area, perhaps an uninhabited planet which shows signs of civilization, but no one else is there. Definitely seems like it, but it could also just be just in an area where there are no people about. Though I have to say, I am glad we do not see the same yet abandoned industrial site they used for filming for Star Trek Discovery. I think I know that Canadian building like the back of my hand now from a number of times Discovery has used it before, and we can say the same for any Star Trek series at this point, I think. From these pictures, I have to say the away team jacket does look really cool, and I could definitely see myself wearing it. So Paramount merch people, if you really want to sell something, start selling that. The inclusion of a mission patch on the shoulder is also a nice touch. Gives me Stargate vibes. It's definitely giving excursion jacket vibes from the Monster Moon era of Trek, but also reminds me of Star Trek Enterprise's away team jackets as well. Some of the equipment of the away team seems to have been taken to this planet is interesting. Of course, they have their tricorders, but they also have some box-shaped equipment as well. Hopefully they don't bring back some infected samples to the ship, because that would be classic Star Trek. The promo picture emphasizes one of the ensigns on the away mission, called Ensign Lance, and is played by Daniel Gravel. I presume that this is the ensign would be either a classic red shirt and die, but since he's named, I assume he might be the patient zero that starts off a contagion on the ship. We do actually see him in the teaser trailer. He's sticking his head through a window or some sort of panel on the ship. Captain Christopher Pike is seen in the excursion jacket in a room filled with tubes and ring lights. This room comes up in the trailer and seems to be the room he finds himself stuck in with Spock, while a light-based entity tries to burst through the door. Funnily enough, this room very much reminds me of Discovery's Spore Canister room. You know, if we put 2 and 2 scenes together, you might be able to see what we mean. You've got Discovery Spore Canisters, seen in Season 1, 2, 3, and 4, and also you've got this room, seen in Strange New Worlds Episode 3. Whether it's a simple set redress or reuse is unknown. The next batch of promotional pictures is in sickbay. We see Dr. Mbenga seemingly taking blood from Una. Perhaps she is the only person not infected on the ship, or she's infected and not showing signs or any symptoms. Mbenga might be able to make an antidote using her blood or white blood cells. Now, if Una is actually genetically enhanced, we could go the Star Trek Into Darkness route and just use her blood as a cure-all. That's definitely an interesting connection to make, though whether these writers want to pull that tactic, I'm not sure. We also get to see Nurse Chapel, and it seems to be in a new room in the medical wing of the Enterprise. Some sort of chamber looks to be in the corner, perhaps a decontamination bay or something. Could we get the return of Decontamination Bay from Enterprise? That would be interesting. I almost thought we saw one in episode 2 as well. I'm really keen to watch this week's Star Trek Strange New Worlds episode, especially we're getting a focus on number 1 it would seem. Additionally, we're spending more time with Chief Engineer Hemmer, that is fantastic, and I cannot wait to see more of him on screen. So yeah, Star Trek Strange New Worlds airs this Thursday via Paramount Plus in the United States, Australia, Latin America, and the Nordics. Additionally on the CTV Sci-Fi channel and Crave streaming service in Canada, plus Voot Select in India, TVNC in New Zealand, and Cosmo TV in Greece. Additionally, the streaming services will also land in the UK and Ireland on June 22nd, 2022, so we've got that to look forward to. Now tell me, are you looking forward to the upcoming episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds? Let us know your crazy theories and such in the video comment section below, because if you are talking about Star Trek, then we want to hear about it. Like always, if you want to keep up to date on the latest Star Trek news, lore and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from myself and the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media or join our community Discord server. For now, I've been Captain Jack, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Live long and prosper, my friends. Goodbye.